I'm struggling
Morning.
load shedding
Morning.
till the
And looking at the data.
Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, guests. Good morning, leadership from the Council and also from the National DSD and the invited guests. I'm just going to ask that delegates, please just type your name in the chat bar so that we can acknowledge you properly in the reports that will be compiled after this meeting. In the next few minutes, we will be starting. Thank you. Thank you so much. It is exactly 9 o'clock. I want us to be on time because we contending with load shedding, and I'm hoping that it will be well behaved today to allow us to conduct our proceedings without any interference. I want to put forward some apologies before we start to acknowledge that the acting DDG Welfare Services and the Chief Director, Mesebo Lohodu, will not be able to attend, as well as the acting DG, Mr. Linton Mkunu. They're putting in their apology. They've been requested to come to Parliament this morning. So we're going to have some few changes. And I want to acknowledge Mevokwana as the person who would give a response in place of the acting DDG Welfare Branch, Ms. Isabella Sinkawana. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to declare the meeting open and allow the President of Council, Dr. Maria Mabetwa, to do the welcoming word. Thank you. Over to you, Madam President.
Okay. Okay, I hope you'll be able to hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are clear,
Okay.
ma'am. If you can just tilt, can you tilt your camera a little bit, your device, so that we can see you nicely? One more time. Thank you.
Okay.
Beautiful.
It's a
You're
bit,
looking beautiful, Madam President. You've taken it too far. Yeah, that's it. Keep it right there. Thank you.
Okay, this is an attached camera, so my laptop doesn't have a good camera. Okay, thank you very much, Program Director. And just want to recognize the Deputy President of the Council, Ms. Dengonyama, and the Council, Honorable Council members of the Council, and the chairpersons of the board, especially Ms. Zeni Tumadu, Dr. Zeni Tumadu. Forget about that, Dr. Zeni, of Child and Youth Care, and I hope the chairperson of the Professional Board for Social Work is here as well, and the officials from DSD, if they're here, and the honorable guest. I know we've got many stakeholders here. I know UNICEF. I saw my case here from UNICEF, and we have many guests from different stakeholders. I just want to recognize without really specifically, naming them. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming, for appearing again at this summit. I was saying to the registrar, it's very rare that a follow-up summit happens so quickly after the first one. Normally you'll find that it will happen 5 years after the first one. And but this is just a show, a demonstration of how urgent this matter it is. At the previous summit, a lot of issues were unraveled, and these issues were a main blockage to progress. that we were trying to make to professionalize child and youth care work, and also to make sure that what I don't know whether I'm quoting this properly, but Dr. Zeni said we want child and youth care workers to be treated equally as social service professionals. So I think we are now en route to that, to ensure that child and youth care workers are fully recognized as social service professionals. But of course, there are a number of things that we need to do. And what came out at the previous summit is that the issue of employment, that we need child and youth care workers, especially those auxiliaries that were enlisted and trained through the Isibindi model, that they need to be employed and receive a salary and not a stipend. You know, that was the outcry at the previous summit. And the another thing is the professionalization, and the issue of the fact that most of the child and youth care workers are at auxiliary work level, and that has been kind of not too much of our taking too much of our attention. But we need proper professionalization. We need more child and youth care workers having degrees, especially so that they can supervise other child and youth care workers in the field and in child and youth care workers, so that child and youth care workers can feel that they are professionals and they are not supervised by social workers unnecessarily. And representativity was one area that they want to be visible at national, at provincial, at district, everywhere where there are social service professionals. Child and youth care workers want to be visible and to be recognized, to be represented, accordingly. And the issue of the regulations, and the fact that the regulations were meant for auxiliary social workers, not for professional auxiliary child and youth care workers, not for professional child and youth care workers. So that needs to be fixed as well. So this were just in summary, in my own way, the issues that are critical here at this summit. And we hope that the various task teams that were nominated and given tasks to follow up, that when they come back today, they'll give us a follow up that we'll be able to move all these issues forward, and so that we can create equal opportunities for child and youth care workers, just like we do for other social service professionals. Yeah, one area that I forgot is the OSD. That that is it's an imperative that the child and youth care workers should also be included in the OSD, or a special OSD should be created for them. So we'll hear how that issue is going to be addressed in the near future. But I also want to say it's really affirming. This has never happened before, especially when we deal with issues of child and youth care work, that we have so many participants from different sectors of government and the NGO sector, just to help to open doors that have been closed for such a long time. It's been very frustrating, especially for some of us that have worked with the child and youth care work sector. But it seems we're blinded by these issues that have been opened up to us in the previous summit. I'm worried that we have task teams, but I'm worried that task teams should not be like a runaway coach, take, assume life of their own. You can have a task team that will go on and on forever, and not want to get consolidated into the bigger picture. So to be able to prevent that, I was saying to the registrar, to be able to prevent that, I really want to recommend that we, unlike today, we have a summit. In the near future, we may not have a summit, but how do we consolidate everything? How do this task team report and on a regular basis so that we can, assess if there's any progress in the work that they are doing, and, do troubleshooting where and when is necessary. So, in my past, life, especially in DSD, we had what we call coordinated action, that all these committees will work separately, but at certain times get together to coordinate the work that they do, so that we don't lose on integration. I'm big on integration. I don't want things being loose and being thrown all over the place. Someone saying, now this is my turf, that's your turf, don't come into my turf. We don't want that. We want people working together. And in those few ways, I just want to wish you well in the discussions today, that and then we're also looking forward at further actions that will bring us to fruition of the intention of this summit. And this summit, it's no longer a deliberations of what is the problem, is the deliberation of how we can deal with the problem, and remove the how and the what and the when, and we'll do it. Okay, thank you very much, Program Director, Ms. Malamba. And I wish you well as a chairperson. I know it's chairperson or Program Director of the summit. I know it's going to be a long day for you, but it's going to be exciting, I'm sure, to be chairing this summit. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you so much for the reflections in your opening remarks and tying in the loose ends, but also showing us what we need to look at in future to make sure that we don't lose focus. And I think, indeed, we need to congratulate the Board Child and Youth Care Work for being able to keep the momentum. And I think that is the beauty of being, a group of activists, because we don't want to just talk. We want to see action. We want to influence change. And I think the board has done incredibly well in this regard. And I want to also thank all the members of the various work streams that have worked tirelessly to make sure that they focus on their goals for their respective task teams. And I am excited that today we are finally going to hear progress made thus far. And I want to just acknowledge the following people. And please, for those who joined in late, continue to put your names and your designations or the companies you're coming from so that we can properly acknowledge you in the report. Comrade Grace Ricoso from PSA, Dr. Shanaz Karelse from University of Western Cape, Ndate Rudy van Logerenberg from the National Department of Social Development, Ndate Tom Lata from Chief Director and the QCTO, the Quality Council for Trade and Occupations, and colleagues from JW Lukhoff, Child and Youth Care Center, Simpiwe Zama Lerato Kiri, Meshalin Singh from DUT, Me Miriam Seluma, Me Bibi Diwan, and also Comrade Enoch Mushabi from the Public Health Social Development Sectoral Bargaining Council, Dr. Heidi Bolton from SACWA, Dr. Verosh Nadesan from UJ, Prof. Van Brieda, member of Board Social Work and also from UJ, Desri de Kock, I think it's Prof. de Kock from UNISA, Fiona Balkobent, Chairperson NACCW, Mayor Amanda Vokwana from the National Department, Social Development, Comrade Buti Butelezi from Nahau, Advocate Joe Nalani, member of the board, Emmanuel Namateheni, family advocates from the Department of Justice, Ntate Koshibangu from our National Department, and especially to welcome the Chairperson Board Social Work, Sharon Valentine, and to recognize Dr. Tambadu, Dr. Alsop, members of the Board Child and Youth Care, as well as other members, to welcome also the Deputy President Ngonyama, and to recognize the presence of Ndate Temba Fosi, the DDG from the Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Department. And as we continue, I will note members who are joining us. I want to now hand over to Dr. Tambadu. I know she's experiencing a bit of load shedding problems, but I'm hoping that she will manage to do a presentation without being disturbed. Prof. Dikok is putting in an apology. We note that. Thank you so much for appearing. We will definitely share the reports on the outcome of this feedback session with you. Over to you, Dr. Tambadu. Dr. Alsa, your mic is on. I'm not sure if she's going to be talking from your... Okay. Dr. Tambadu? Okay. I think she's still experiencing problems. I'm going to make a few changes to the program. I will allow the higher education task team, if they are ready, to go first, whilst Dr. Tambadu is finding an alternative source. And then we will allow her to give her reflections. She was going to give us an overview of, the whole process, as we know. But I will allow now the higher education task team to go first. May Mpumi Lutuli, member of the Board Child and Youth Care Work, if you are ready, please go.
Good morning, colleagues, and good morning to everyone in the summit. I would also like to acknowledge all our dignitaries that are present in this meeting, our audience. I will be representing, my name is Nompumelelo Lutuli, as introduced by our registrar. I am going to represent and do presentation on the higher education task team. I think they will assist me. Our administrator will assist me on moving the slides for me. Okay. As a higher education task team, we've got 8,044 child and youth care workers that are registered at auxiliary level, which 116 of them are at a professional level. The crisis here is that we've got shortage of supervisors and lecturers to facilitate the NQF level 5. And we've identified that we need to increase the numbers of child and youth care workers with degrees to fill up this gap that we have identified to facilitate child and youth care at NQF level 4. And also we've identified that we enough universities to offer the degree experience education learning distance. So we are challenged by that. And then the few bursaries we are experiencing as a sector, it's very limiting to our profession for especially after the child and youth care workers have graduated. Those are the other challenges that we are faced with at the moment. Next slide, please. And then we also identified, we assisted the higher education team to identify the availabilities of grant, especially with the Department of Higher Education and Training, to develop the new degree programs. We've also played a part in there. And we also articulated the learning pathway of different pathways in child and youth care from the auxiliary level to a degree studies as well. The learnership development in the child and youth care work sector was looked at, and also we developed a coherent child and youth care lectures in master's degrees, like we've got a lot of people now with their masters, and some are working on their PhD. Next slide, please. Okay. The higher education and training task team has also developed a task team that is looking at all the things that I've just mentioned before. I'm not gonna go through the names because of time, but I'm just gonna mention the representation in this task team. We've got a professional board for child and youth care workers, members from that. We've got members from the South African Council for Social Services. We've got members from HWCTA, the SACSSP members, UNISA, a task team with members from DUT, the UJ, and we've also have members that from the Department of Education and Higher Training. Those are the their names are here, but those are the sectors that are represented in this task team. Can we move, madam? Okay. And having said that, we also had meetings that we did, the 5 formal meetings that we did in order to make sure that we are in part and we support this. We're looking forward to the education task team. We had a meeting on the 15th of June 2021, 25th of June 2021, and 9 July 2021, 14 September 2021, 2nd November 2021 to support UNISA to appoint a consultant as soon as possible to fast track the development of child and youth care degree at UNISA, because we're working on the training of child and youth care with UNISA. So these meetings were held, and to provide as well information on the Council of Higher Education, the grant of lectures, and to enrich the university. To enrich the universities as well, and to provide information on SACSSP grants and lectures to enrich the universities as well. Those are the issues that were discussed in by these task team members. The next slide, please. We also developed the concept of learning framework to fast track auxiliary youth care workers into degree programs. I will talk to that on our slide that will be coming soon. We included a portfolio of development, a course and a module, a DSD to incorporate the learning pathway into their business case for child and youth care workers, which is something that we are working on with the Department of Education as well. The DUT to consider providing the portfolio development of course and module as part of the contribution. The HWCTA to provide funds for the portfolio development on course and module as linked to the RPL processes. Yes, the map, the priorities, the map that we are prioritizing as this learning pathway in the child and youth care. We're looking at, I'll start from the top, we're looking at we've got the people with the let me start from the bottom. Okay, I know that we've got NQF level 4, and we've upgraded the NQF level 4, which is equivalent to our matric, of course, to say now we need to have the RPL in order for us to bridge the gap between NQF level 4 to NQF level 5.